on HelloDolly.
Ladies and gentlemen of excellent family, introduced under the most respectable conditions of elegance and refinement. Object, matrimony. Now, unfortunately, I won't be able to offer my usual lightning services today, as I have a previous appointment in Yonkers, New York, arranging the second marriage of Mr. Horace Van Gelder, the well-known half-a-millionaire. As my late husband Ephraim Levi used to say, that means he's got at least 60,000 cash. But I'll be sure to have you carried across the threshold before the week is out. Now, I might also mention I'm available for financial consultation, instruction in the guitar and mandolin, short distance hauling, and varicose veins reduced.
Call on Dolly. She's the one the spinsters recommend. Ain't the kind of man your sister wants, and she'll snatch him up. Don't forget to bring your maiden eggs, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly.
Mrs. Levi.
Mr. Kemper, the artist. Oh, you know I am something of an artist myself. Yes, I do those silhouettes with the scissors and the black paper. Oh, look, here's one of Abraham Lincoln looking the other way. I have to do them like that because I'm no good at noses.
Mrs. Levi, the train for Yonkers leaves in 5 minutes, and if we don't get there on time...
Oh, but we will, Mr. Kemper. And not only will Horace Van Gelder give you permission to marry his niece Ermengarde, but he will also dance at your wedding as well. And not alone either, because I happen to be engaged in finding him a suitable second wife himself. What he really wants is someone steady to clean the house. As my late husband Ephraim Levi used to say, marriage is a bribe to make a housekeeper think she's a householder.
I know all about it, Mrs. Levi. Half New York says he's going to propose to Mrs. Irene Malloy this very afternoon.
Which is exactly why I'm on my way to Yonkers this afternoon. We can take on your case and knock off 4 lovebirds with 1 stone, or whatever I'll throw, I'll see. And well, would you look at that? I have nothing here to pay my train fare with. Only large bills, 5s and 7s.
I have some change in here somewhere. I just hope this isn't a wild goose chase, Mrs. Levi.
Oh, and speaking of poultry, I am also available for fresh Jersey eggs, surgical corsets reboned, pierced ears, and pierced ears replugged.
Don't forget to bring your maiden eggs, and she'll match him up. Call on Dolly.
So tell me, Mrs. Levi, what's in all this for you?
Oh, a living, Mr. Kemper. Some people paint, some sew. I meddle. I have always been a woman who arranges things for the pleasure and the profit it derives. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, polka games, and lives. When a man with a timid tongue meets a girl with a diffident air, I put my hand in there. I put my hand in there. And a girl over 6'3" loves a man who comes up to her ear. Surely it's obvious she'll never be seduced till some kind soul condescends to give her beau a little boost. I put my hand in there. I put my hand in there. I have always been a woman who arranges things. It's my duty to assist the Lord above. I have always been a woman who arranges things like luncheon parties, polka games, and love. My aplomb at cosmetic art turned a frump to a trunk lady fair. She had a countenance a little bit like Scrooge, but oh, today you would swear the Lord himself applied the rouge. I put my hand in there.
Mrs. Levi?
I know, Mr. Kemper, the Yonkers train is ready to leave. Now you go buy our tickets, get a window seat, order lunch, and I'll meet you on board. Ephraim, I'm going to get married again. I'm going to marry Horace Van Gelder for his money and send it out circulating among the people like rainwater, the way you taught me. And I want a sign from you sometime today that you approve. Oh, no, it won't be a marriage in the way that we had one, but I shall certainly make him happy. And I'm tired, Ephraim. Tired of living hand to mouth, so I want that sign.
Mrs. Levi!
Sometime today. Now, don't you worry, Mr. Kemper. We'll make that train. We'll get to Yonkers. You'll marry Ermengarde. Just leave everything to me. For when my little pinky wriggles, some young maiden gets the giggles. Then I make my knuckles active. He says she's so attractive. Then I use my index digit, and they both begin to fidget. Then I clench my palms. The preacher reads a psalm, and I put my hand in there.
Play Yonkers, my Yonkers, with all that bellowing in my ear.
I can't help it, Uncle. I love Ambrose Kemper.
And I say you're too young to be in love with anybody. Here, take this.
I'm not too young. I'm 17. Another year, I'll be an old maid.
Well, I forbid it. Dare to be an old maid, Ermengarde, and I'll cut you off without a cent.
I can't help it. I'm unhappy.
smell the luck, it was just oil. Cornelius Barnaby! You stepped, Mr. Van der Gelder? I did. I got news for you both. I'm going to New York this afternoon to march in the 14th Street Association Parade. And when I come back, you're going to have a mistress.
I'm too young, Mr. Van der Gelder.
Not yours, hell of damnation, mine! I mean, I'm getting married again. And in honor of that occasion, I decided to promote you, Cornelius, to chief clerk.
And what am I now, Mr. Van der Gelder?
You're an impertinent fool, that's what you are. And now I'm promoting you from impertinent fool to chief clerk. Any more questions?
Yes.
What?
Does the chief clerk get an evening free a week?
So that's the way you thank me for promotion, is it? No, sir, you'll go and attend to the store as usual. Now go upstairs and start packing your things. And don't forget to put the lid on the sheet tin. Evenings off. Marrying art is foolishness. 99% of the people in this world are fools, and the rest of us are in great danger of contamination. Why, even I was once young, which was foolish, and got married, which was foolish, and was poor, which was more foolish than anything else. Then my wife died, which was foolish of her. I grew older, which was sensible of me, and became rich, friendless, and mean, which in Yonkers is about as far as you can go. Oh, I know what you're thinking now. Why, a man of such good sense be planning anything as foolish as getting married again. The answer's simple. This house without a woman would be an empty shell. And pretty dirty, too. It takes a woman all powder and pink to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft dressed fingers for dumping the ashes.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
The frail young maiden was constantly there for washing and bluing and shoeing the mare. And it takes a female for setting the table and weeding the Guernsey and cleaning the stable.
Yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life. And so she'll work until infinity. 3 cheers for femininity. Rah, 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 F-E-M-I-T-Y.
M-I-T, what? Get out of here! And in the winter, she'll shovel the ice and lovingly sets out the trap for the mice. She's a joy and treasure, for practically speaking, for who can you turn when the plumbing is leaking?
That dainty woman, that fragile woman, that sweetheart, that mistress, that wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman,
A husky woman.
to bring you the sweet things in life. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a dainty woman, a sweetheart, a mistress, a wife. Oh yes, it takes a woman, a fragile woman, to bring you the sweet things in life.
All of you!
Congratulations, congratulations All New York is buzzing with the news that you've practically proposed to Irene Malloy. The streets are lined with eligible young ladies prostrate with grief. All my congratulations and sympathy.
Sympathy?
Did I say that? No, a slip of the tongue, that's all. No, I am delighted with the happy news. After all, she wasn't easy to unload. By that I mean, you know what people said, although I, for one, never believed the rumors. No, I didn't.
What rumors? What rumors?
Nothing to get upset about, Mr. Van Gelder. I mean, according to all known facts, her first husband passed on quite naturally. It's just that he went so sudden. A few spoons of that chowder she made special for him, and... But it could happen to anyone. There's no truth in it. Just one word of advice, Mr. Van Gelder. Eat out.
Now, hold on, Mrs. Levi. You mean to say that Mrs. Malloy...
I mean to say nothing, Mr. Van Gelder. Just friendly advice. Keep away from the chowder. Oh, no, and she's ordered her wedding gown. You should see it. Black. Now, as I said before, Mr. Van Gelder, congratulations on your forthcoming nuptials, and may you rest in... I mean, may guardian angels watch over you both, particularly at dinner.
Now look here, Mrs. Levi. You introduced me to Mrs. Malloy, and rumors or not, I intend on calling her this afternoon as arranged.
Very well, Mr. Van Gelder. Then I guess I'll just have to go back to New York and tell the other girl, the heiress, not to wait.
What did you say?
Nothing. A word. Heiress.
Particulars, Mrs. Levi. I demand particulars. Her name.
Her name is Money. Ernestina Money.
Oh, what a lovely, lovely name.
Picture, if you will, hair as shiny as a newly minted dime, eyes as big and round as silver dollars, skin as soft and mossy as an old greenback.
I can feel her now.
Age 19, weight 102, waist 47.
Waist 47?
That's with the money belt. Now, I could arrange for you to meet Miss Ernestina this very afternoon.
I ain't got time, Mrs. Levi. I got to bring my niece Ermengarde to New York this afternoon until she forgets a certain Ambrose Kemper.
Well, I could do that for you, Mr. Van Gelder. I know just how to handle such things.
Then I'm marching in the 14th Street Parade.
Oh, what an amazing coincidence! Guess who's been chosen to ride the main float? The spirit of 14th Street. Miss Money. Her mother was a cash, you know.
All right, Mrs. Levi. I'll go and meet Miss Money, but I still intend on paying another call to Mrs. Malloy first.
Oh, Mr. Van Gelder, what races you make me run! Very well then, I'll meet you in front of Miss Malloy's hat shop at 2:30 as usual.
One more thing. Suppose I decide against Mrs. Malloy, and I don't like Miss Money neither.
Well then, I happen to have one more name on my list, a name I know as well as my own. But let's not get into that now. It'll come up by itself, all in good time, don't you worry about it. Oh, but wait till you see Ernestina, Horace. A vision, a dream.
It takes a woman of power peak to joyously clean out the drain in the sink. And it takes an angel with long golden lashes and soft resting fingers for dumping the ashes.
It takes You know, Ephraim, I think I'll have that room done over in blue wallpaper. Yes, in blue. Ermengarde, Ambrose, we've got plans to make.
Chief clerk. Promoted from chief clerk to chief clerk. And if I'm good, in another 10 years, I'll be promoted to chief clerk again. 33 years old, Barnaby, and I still don't get an evening free. When am I going to begin to live?
You can live on the holidays, Cornelius.
Did you forget what they did to us last Christmas? All those rotten tomato cans went bad, and you and I had to clean up the mess all afternoon. Do you call that a living?
No.
Barnaby, you and I are going to New York!
You may close the store?
Uh-huh.
Cornelius, we can't.
Well, we'll have to. Some more rotten tomato cans are going to explode.
Holy cabooses! How do you know?
I'm going to light this candle underneath them, that's how I know. They'll create such a smell that people won't be able to come into the place for 24 hours. Ha-ha! Gotta get us an evening free. We're going to New York, Barnaby, and we're going to live. We're going to have a good meal. We're going to be in danger. We're going to spend our money. We're going to be arrested.
Holy cabooses!
And one more thing. We're not coming back to Yonkers until we've each kissed a girl.
But, Cornelius, you can't do that. You don't know any girls.
I'm 33 years old, Barnaby. I gotta begin sometime.
I'm only 17, Cornelius. It isn't so urgent for me.
New York, Barnaby. Elevated train. The lights of Broadway. The stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
A stuffed whale?
A stuffed whale. What do you say, Barnaby?
Yes! Cornelius, yes!
Now, the first thing to do is make you financially independent. I know, I'll get you a job. Can you dance?
I am an artist. An artist, Mrs. Levi. I paint.
Well then, my card.
Mrs. Levi. Painters taught how to dance?
Now, there's a man, Rudolph rising over at the 14th Street Harmonia Gardens. I'll give you a note for him. We'll see if he can't have you both entered in the polka contest tonight. The prize is a week's engagement and a gold cup. Oh, the cups we won, Ephraim and me.
Hold on, Mrs. Levi. No fiancé of mine is going to set foot into a cafe. And I don't mind saying, I'm surprised you have acquaintances in a place like that.
Not acquaintances, Mr. Kemper, friends. Friends from days gone by. My late husband, Ephraim Levi, believed in life, and any place you could find it. Cafes, ballrooms, yes, even theaters. Why, even when times were hard, every Saturday night like clockwork, down those stairs at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant, we came. Ephraim and me.
It's all very well to come down like clockwork, Mrs. Levi, but you are asking for Ermengarde to go and work there.
It's the only way to show Horace Van Gelder we mean business. Now, you go to the Harmonia Gardens and tell them Mrs. Levi sent you. And, incidentally, tell Rudolph that Dolly's coming back. And I want a ticket for 8 o'clock at night and a table for 2.
The bottom row looks alright, Cornelius. Now move the candles to the ones up top. Not too close. They look like they're ready to swell. Oh, holy cabooses. Oh, I can smell it from up here.
Get dressed, Barnaby. You and I are going to New York. Out there, there's a world outside of Yonkers. Way out there beyond this hick town, Barnaby. There's a slick town, Barnaby. Out there, full of shine and full of sparkle. Close your eyes and see it glistening, Barnaby. Listen, Barnaby. Put on your Sunday clothes, there's lots of world out there. Get out the brilliant teen and dine with all. We're gonna find adventure in the evening air. Girls in white in a perfume night where the lights are bright as the stars. Put on your Sunday clothes, we're gonna ride through town. And one of those blue horse-drawn old bay cars. We'll see the shows at Delmonico's and we'll close the town and the world. And we won't come home until we've kissed our girl.
Put on your Sunday clothes when you feel down and out. Strut down the street and have your picture took. Just like a dream.
your toes. Get out your feathers, your pads and leathers, your beads, your buckles and bows. For there's no blue Monday in your Sunday clothes.
New York City, more to me. Elevated trains, the lights of Broadway.
Holy cabooses!
The stuffed whale at Barnum's Museum.
Wow!
Come on.
Although if you ask me, he never took the place of her late husband, Mr. Peter Malloy. May he rest in peace, wherever he is. I'm not sure. He was a caution, you know. Oh, it's all too much with the late husband's new marriage on top of everything else. Miss Mortimer, returning this hat for the third time. Same old story. She wants more cherries and feathers. Cherries and feathers to catch a beau, I suppose. Although if you ask me, she'd be better with a nice heavy veil. I told her ribbons down our back is what we'll be wearing this summer if we want to catch a gentleman's eye. But but she'd have none of it. Cherries and feathers she wants. On today of all days, when that poor, dear, sweet Mrs. Malloy has enough on her mind with
With what, Minnie?
with the door. It's stuck.
Stuck? Then push!
As I was saying, Mrs. Malloy, I could bite out my tongue for the things I've said and the things I'm going to say. But as long as I've gone this far, I might as well go all the way. Mrs. Malloy, why? Why?
Say it, Minnie. Why have I decided to marry Horace Vandergelder?
Oh, Mrs. Malloy, I didn't ask you that. I would rather die direct than ask you such a personal question. But as long as you did bring it up.
I'm marrying Horace Vandergelder for one reason and one reason alone, Minnie. To get out of the millinery business. I hate hats!
Mrs. Malloy!
And I can no longer stand being suspected of being a wicked woman with nothing to show for it.
Oh, Mrs. Malloy!
Don't protest, Minnie. All millineresses are suspected of being wicked women. That's why I can't go into restaurants, balls, or theaters. Take my word for it, Minnie. Either I marry Horace Vandergelder or I break out of this place like a fire engine. Not Miss Mortimer again?
Miss Mortimer, I'll take care of it.
No, Minnie, leave it be. You can make another half of Miss Mortimer if you like. I'm wearing this one myself.
Mrs. Malloy, you can't! You're a widow in that hat. Well, it's provocative, that's what.
It is, Minnie. Who knows who may come into the shop today? And who knows, provocative may be just the way I want to be.
Mrs. Malloy!
I'll be wearing ribbons down my back this summer, blue and green and streaming in the yellow sky. So if someone special comes my way this summer, he might notice me passing by, and so I'll try to make it easier to find me in the stillness of July, because a breeze might stir a rainbow up behind me that might happen to catch the gentleman's eye, and he might smile and take me by the hand this summer, making me recall how lovely love can be. him was my fair share of love, and I'm not saying I was shortchanged. Once is enough for a woman, as long as it's true love, and it was that. Look, Minnie, there are men stirring outside the hat shop.
Men?
Why, I do believe they mean to come in here.
Men? In the shop? Oh, Mrs. Malone, what shall we do?
Do? Why, flirt with them, of course. I'll give you the short one.
Mrs. Malloy, you do that all that talk about love.
Love enough I've had, Minnie. It's a bit of adventure I could do with now. We'll heat 'em up and then drop 'em cold. It'll be good practice for married life. Now, Minnie, let's go into the workroom. I know some ways we can perk up our appearances. Besides, a little weight will make them more nervous and easier for us to...
If you say vampire, I'll scream.
Vampire!
We'll get an adventure out of this yet, Barnaby. All day long we wander around New York City and nothing happens. Then we come to the quietest street in the city, and then suddenly...
Vandergelder!
It's still out there! Go look!
Oh, he's sitting on that bench, Cornelius. Are you sure this is an adventure?
You don't have to ask, Barnaby. When you're in one, you'll know it, alright? How much money have you got left?
Not much, Cornelius. 40 cents for the train ride back, 30 cents for dinner, and 20 cents to see the whale. 90 cents. Why?
When those women come back in, we'll have to pretend to be customers. Customers! That's it! Maybe the best thing to do is to make them think we're rich. Then we won't have to spend anything. We're just two men about town looking for hats for ladies. Good afternoon, Mrs.
Malloy.
Here! Cornelius Hackle.
Here, Barnaby Tucker.
My pleasure, gentlemen. Now, what can I do for you?
We're happy to see you. And what am I later to Malloy with?
We want a hat! For a lady! Of course! And everyone says goes to Mrs. Malloy because she's so pretty. I mean, her hats are so pretty!
And so reasonable, Cornelius. As reasonable as under $1, which would leave us enough to see the whale.
You mustn't pay him no mind, ma'am. He comes all the way from Yonkers to see the big whale, and he's all excited. Just keep an eye out on that street, Barnaby, and maybe you'll see it pass by.
Is it big and black with mean little red eyes?
Yes.
It's sitting on that bench.
Excuse me, Mr. Hackle, but did you say Yonkers?
Oh, yeah, of course. And forgive me for saying this, but you should really see Yonkers. And by that, I mean, maybe Mr. Malloy would like to see Yonkers too.
Oh, I'm a widow, Mr. Hackle.
You are? Barnaby, she's a widow! That's too bad. I'm sure Mr. Malloy would have loved to see Yonkers, especially, well, if you were wearing one of your beautiful hats. On you, of course, not Mr. Malloy, may he rest in peace. You're Catholic, right? Well, don't let that worry you. I'd be willing to change. Mrs. Malloy, if you ever happen to have a Sunday free in the near future, I'll be more than willing to show you Yonkers from top to bottom.
Well, as a matter of fact, Mr. Hackle, I may be in Yonkers sooner than you may think.
Oh, really?
You see, I have a friend who lives in Yonkers.
Do you?
Perhaps you know him.
Perhaps we do.
Though it's always foolish to ask in cases like this, isn't it? It's Horace Vandergelder.
Horace Vandergelder?
Of Vandergelder's hay and feed.
Oh, do you know him?
Oh, no.
I hear he's a substantial man, and well liked, they tell me.
A lovely man. Just lovely. As far as I know. He's hard as nails.
Cornelius, I think.
Oh, I wonder if your friend will like this one.
Begging your pardon, Miss Malloy.
Gentlemen, what are you doing?
I was playing everything, Miss Malloy, but you have to help us.
Look out!
You come out of that cupboard this instant! Oh, really, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, if you don't come out of there this instant, I'll be forced to! Oh, Mr. Vandergelder.
Miss Malloy, I don't suppose Mrs. Levi is here, is she? She was supposed to meet me on that bench 10 minutes ago. Well, she can just go looking for me if she comes. When I make an appointment, I like people to be on time. Here is a present for you. Chocolate-covered peanuts, unshelled, That's the expensive kind. Did I just see you talking with two men?
Men? Men, Mr. Vennegelder, in a woman's hat shop? Now, let's go into my workroom. I'm so anxious for you to see it.
I saw it last week.
So you did. So, what's new in the hay and feed business? I hear you have 3 friends, all hard as nails, I mean.
What on earth are you talking about?
Yonkers, I hear it's a beautiful city.
And who's been telling you about Yonkers, may I ask?
Nobody! A friend.
What friend?
Well, you say
He?
A customer. Mr. Vennegelder, someone quite well-to-do, as a matter of fact, though it's always silly to ask in cases like this, isn't it? It's Cornelius Hackle.
Did you just say Hackle?
Why, yes,
He happens to be my head clerk, that's all. Mrs. Malloy, I demand an explanation.
And I'm going to give it to you. Why shouldn't she know Cornelius Hackle? Everyone in New York knows Cornelius Hackle. He's here at the opera in all the fashionable homes. Why, he's at the Harmonia Gardens restaurant 3 times a week.
Impossible! He's only got $146.35, and I keep it in my own safe.
Oh, Mr. Vandergelder, you're killing me! He's one of the Hackles. They built the canal.
What canal?
The Erie. The Panama. Both!
It ain't the same man.
Who took the horses out of Judylin's carriage and hauled them to the streets? Cornelius Hackle. Oh, and who dressed up as a waiter at the 5th Avenue Hotel and dropped an oyster down Mrs. Astor's? Oh, I shouldn't say. But it was Cornelius. He's the playboy of New York. Now, Irene, don't deny it. I can see you were taken with him just like everybody else.
Dolly, I've only ever met him once in my life. I mean, really, Dolly, Hey!
There's a man in there!
Oh,
Look here, there's a man in that closet.
No, Mr. Vandergelder, you can't! It's too dangerous.
No man that hides in ladies' closets can frighten me, Mrs. Levi. Now stand aside.
Oh, no man indeed. I'm sure you'd make short work of any man. Those muscles! I can see them now, rippling back and forth beneath your coat.
Mrs. Levi.
Ripple!
For the last time, Mrs. Levi, will you stand aside?
Stand indeed, Mr. Vandergelder. That's exactly what the law courts are going to want to know when you're accused of entering that closet without a search warrant. I mean, what do you stand for if not the law of this great land? I know what I stand for. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. Betsy Ross's flag is passing. Do you see him on the hill of Gettysburg? Neath that great triumphal arch. If you see him as he's tramping through the graves of Ralph, then march, march, march.
has this not affected you, sir? I came here at 14 years of age from a country that oppressed my people. And now I must echo here what was said by that great and patriotic American.
Moses!
I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans. Take off your hat, sir. There's a deer-stained eagle passing through. You see him on the bridge at Waterloo. See that great triumphal arch. If you see him as he's trampling through the graves of wrath, then march, march, march. I stand for motherhood, America, and a hot lunch for orphans.
I regret that
the flag is rising to you see him on the hill of Gettysburg. I see it down like great triumphal arch. If you see him as he's trampling through the graves of wrath, march, march, 7 years ago, march,
Malloy?
All right, Mr. Van Gelder, there is a man in that cupboard.
Aha!
And another under this table.
What the devil?
But for the present, there is a very simple explanation, so good afternoon.
Good Lord, the whole room is crawling with men. I'll never get over it. I take it I'll see you later this afternoon, Mr. Van Gelder.
You certainly will, Mrs. Levi, with a certain young lady on the main float at the end of the parade. Good day, Mrs. Malloy.
Mrs. Malloy, I can explain everything. So you see, basically,
I do not wish to hear any explanations, Mr. Hackle. Just you and Mr. Tucker do me the pleasure of leaving my hatch up, or I'll send for Officer Gilgreney.
Well, if you ask me, Irene, getting an officer's letting them off too easy. The law courts, that's where they belong. I've been adding up the legal offenses these two have committed, and believe me, you've got grounds for a non-compos mentis and a garnishee. Now, the first thing to do is show that you tried to settle it amicably first. Have dinner with them.
dinner?
Is that absolutely necessary, darling?
It's the way things are done in the law, Irene. Dinner first, garnishee afterwards.
Well, if it must be, Mr. Hackle, Mr. Tucker, you may take Miss Fay and myself to dinner.
Delighted, Mrs. Malloy. I speak for Barnaby, too. Now, I hear there's a great restaurant down in the railroad station.
Mr. Hackle, if the Harmonia Gardens is good enough for your fashionable friends, it's good enough for us. I hear they have a lovely orchestra there, Miss.
Oh, no. We couldn't do that. Now, don't misunderstand me or anything. It isn't the money. It's just that, well, you know, it's the
whale.
It's the whale. No, it isn't the whale, Barnaby. It's the dancing. You see, in a place like that, they hold dancing contests and exhibitions, and it would take me months, years to learn. Miss Dolly Levi taught Chief Clerk how to dance?
Now, it is very simple. You put one arm here and one arm here and...
It's absolutely no use. I have no sense of rhythm.
Oh, absolutely no sense of rhythm is one of the primary requirements for learning by the Gelder-Levi method. Just give me 5 minutes of your time, Mr. Hackle, and I'll have you dancing through the streets. Now, we will start with lesson 7, the waltz kick turn. Right foot touch, left foot touch, over, back, around, touch, out, over, release, unfurl. That's wonderful. When I think of the lovely women who will find heaven in your arms. Let's go back to lesson 1. Put your hand on her waist and stand with your left in her right hand. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Wow! I'm dancing! At least I was.
Of course you were, Mr. Hackle. Take the someone whose arms you're in. Hold on to her tight and spin. And 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Wow! I'm dancing!
Turn around and turn around, try floating through the air. Can't you be a little more aesthetic?
Don't you think my dancing has a polish and a flair?
Well, the word I think I'd use is athletic.
Well, my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that I'm dancing, who cares if I ever stop? I, Cornelius Hackle, sports, am dancing.
You're next, Mr. Tucker. Glide and step and then step and glide.
And everyone stand aside. I could join the chorus of the Castle Garden show.
Whatever you do, for God's sake, keep breathing.
For my heart is about to burst. My head is about to pop. And now that we're dancing, who cares if we ever stop?
When there's someone you hardly know and wish you were closer to, remember that he can be near to you while you're dancing. Though you've only just said hello, suddenly someone who can make all your daydreams appear to you while you're dancing. Make the music weave a spell, whirl away your worries. Things look almost twice as well when there's slightly blurry. As
My daughter May just got married, you know.
Did she?
A year ago in September. It's been a long time since you've lived here, Mrs. Levi. Such a long, long time.
Ephraim, let me go. It's been long enough, Ephraim. Every day, for all these years, I've put out the cat, I've locked the door, I've made myself a little rum toddy. And before I went to bed, I said a prayer, thanking God that I was independent, that my life was mixed up with no one else's. Then one night, an oak leaf fell out of my Bible. A perfectly good oak leaf, but without color and without life. And I suddenly realized that I was like that oak leaf. For years I had not shed one tear, nor had I been filled with the wonderful hope that something or other would happen. And so, I've decided to rejoin the human race. And Ephraim, I want you to give me away. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get in step while there's still time left. Before the parade passes by.
Mrs. Levi, Mr. Hackman's going to take us to see the 14th Street Parade. Everyone will be marching.
Why, Irene, you're crying.
Oh, Dolly, the world is full of wonderful things. Come with us, Dolly.
I will, Irene. I will. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna go and taste Saturday's high life. Before the parade passes by, I'm gonna get some life back into my life. I'm ready to move out in front. I've had enough of just passing by life with the rest of them, with the best of them. I can hold my head up high, for I got a goal again, I gotta drive again. I'm gonna feel my heart coming alive again before the parade passes by. Had a sudden urgent business appointment at the Mint. She's helping out because they're running a little low on money. But she will meet you at Harmonia Gardens at 8 o'clock tonight.
That's the most expensive restaurant in the city.
Oh, and well, it should be. Much food and the fastest waiters in all New York. Oh, by the way, I might be a little late, but she will meet you out front. Wait till you see her horse, all in buttercup yellow and baby pink shoes. Oh, and humming an old-fashioned tune. Sweet Rosie O'Grady. You couldn't miss her if you tried.
All right, Mrs. Levi, I'll go, but only because I already paid for the introduction and might as well get my money's worth. For from now on, you are hereby discharged as my marriage broker. Is that clear? From now on, Dolly Gallagher, you are just a normal woman like anyone else. Where are you taking that? What is going on?